5-5 on the side of Cyclops Empire, a match that has gone the distance. Jackal Melusi from Cyclops targeting joystick on the Jackal, and Empire banned out the Monty and the Mirror, so paying back their respects and target banning Anytun, who has the deadliest Monty so far of this tournament. Also one of the only Monties, I believe, as well.
On the white stairs, but that's really it.
Take a pause at the 16mm right? Yeah. I mean, 16mm is just for vlogging, right? When I travel or whatever. That's why like this lens is so versatile.
Oh, that's a really good rotate cut.
Meanwhile, the 24mm, I don't even use it almost.
But playing the patient waiting game here for
might have been an unnecessary purchase, to be honest. Might have been. Oh, dude, Cypher and Gatorada running in circles, and Cypher with a better timing than him. So instead of playing around the Rosie, I'll just run around and kill you. It's easier done than that, but still. CAG has some info, but no cover. Blackberry were a little bit too late in that refrag. Had that come down a second earlier, that would have been CAG able to plant, but now it's going to be a frag fierce and Anton planning on a 0th second, meaning that Empire will run in and take care of him. And Empire takes the match point, 6-5.
Just found 4 rounds in a row and taken us 2 match points.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Where?
If you're a Cyclops fan,
oh, because I gave it to you. Because nice. Invite 2019. Oh, nice. That's sick.
That match point yourself, and now you're staring
I think
down
it's
the barrel of
it's 2020 actually. It's just in the back.
Staring down the barrel of quite possibly.
Invite Montreal. You can't really see. It's not focusing. I can manual focus it. 2020 coin.
That is the reality here for
we got it invite.
if they don't win a predominant amount of their games
In
today,
my collection.
Look, realistically, they need all 3 because
I thought I had lost those forever. I lost the Raleigh Major pin because it was on my backpack, and I guess when I like took the backpack out of the overhead in the plane, I think I might have caught and ripped or something, or maybe somebody stole it. I don't know. But my pin from Raleigh Major is gone from my backpack, so long gone. Yeah. Yeah. So now I got like a little trophy copy for them. Like a little black box where I have like the most notable pins and coins and stuff. You guys like white lenses so much. I only have an 18-200 and a 100 prime macro. Interesting. I need a macro lens. I can't get close on any of my lenses. Like their focus point is pretty far away. So taking like product photos is kind of difficult in a close space. Is T2 already out? No, sir, they aren't. Not yet, anyhow. Let me ask if anyone wants to come on, actually.
If they lose this, but it's a heck of a lot harder. And
where is
here,
Pharaoh?
Our expectation was
Yo.
Empire should take Cyclops down pretty cleanly. And we were clearly surprised when Cyclops went up 4-2 on their attack or defense half. But they have to have
no, G2 isn't out, but today will decide what happens. G2 might end up getting annihilated after today. They might. Which would be quite sad, actually. No, the first time ever that they're not making out of group stage. Technically speaking. Technically, we made it out of group stage last season. Because there was only semis and finals on stage. We lost in quarters. But quarters wasn't like on stage, so technically that is playoffs, I assume.
He'll get away with most of his life, and they're gonna have to encircle him very quickly because Shepard is right nearby. This is the kind of support
it's the push, boys. The final push. Anytune goes big, finds Stan and Shepard. Clears out the entire backside of VIP. Opens up the entire round for his team. Now, BDS would need a cheaper position, or sorry, Empire that is. We're in a different match right now. Always on the hatch. Oh, he shot too early. Oh, he does find Blackberry still on the run back. Meanwhile, Joystick gets injured on the roam. On the flank, rather. And I always stuck behind this bar desk. Anytime with 3 and Cypher last man standing very far away. Can't do much. C4 over, perhaps? Nope, no C4. It does come out, but way too late. And it does not get thrown anyway. Injured does come out onto Anytune, but Susu trades back in 6-6. All the way. The entire distance. Overtime has been enabled. all on the back end of Anytoon,
Goosebumps all
literally
over
slapping
right
Empire
now, James,
about.
because I can't believe it. The
Very nicely done.
moment that Cyclops show us their
That's
depth,
that's what I'm saying. Like
moment that they
this,
don't
like
just
where
seem like this random
Cyclops are strong
composition of operators
is where
that are just trying
Cloud9 is weak,
anything and
pretty much.
everything. The moment they show us that they
Like
really
decisiveness,
have the capacity
the
to
right
be
aggression, the refragability
aggressive
especially.
and explosive
Like when they
team,
peaked
can also
Shepard
be a
on that
strategic
bar
team
desk, they had
that goes
3
to the
guys.
steps and goes
Like
gets
that
the
guy was
verticals
going
and
to die
plays and
unless he
goes
got
to the
killed all
plan.
3 of
They
them.
can do it all. And this is why
And that's
I
where Cloud9
truly
is kind of a little
believe
bit more
that a team
Pepega
that has this
in their
amount
solo
of
peaks.
depth with a little bit of refinement can
And it's
be an
kind of scary seeing
absolutely
Cyclops playing this well,
unstoppable
because if
team.
they ended up beating
Empire
Empire,
was that way years
they
ago,
have a really
and I
realistic
think
chance of
Cyclops is
actually
like the
kicking out
APAC
G2
version
instead.
of that.
Because as of this moment, it is between Cyclops and G2 on who's about to get
All
relegated.
they need is a handle. That's
Yes.
the only thing they're missing. They have all the ingredients. They just need a recipe. And you look at around like that, where Anderson is not playing Monty, you know, where he has a
Who
shield.
played
and
today
a
already?
pistol, not much of
Only
a
BDS
ability,
Cloud9
and
played it
he's
so
not
far.
playing Ying,
And they
trying to
were
kind
a
of
7 to
work
BDS
off
and a
those
5 to
Vandellas,
Cloud9.
where he's just playing pure and simple
This is
siege.
also the first
Rifle in
game
his
of the
hand.
other
He finds the opening 2K that opens
like
up the
group,
round
I
for
guess.
CAG and sets them up so well.
Other side of the
Even though
bracket, I
things got
guess.
a bit close there at
As
the
there's
end,
an A and a B
Cyclops
stream, so there's
left
2
themselves
streams at
plenty of time
once.
to the execute. They started that execute onto
If
Dynamo
CAG
VIP
wins,
with 50
G2 needs to
seconds
win
go,
against Liquid
which
or
meant there was plenty
C9.
of
Yep,
time for
that
them
is
to
true.
convert
Or
that to
Dark
start.
Zero.
And
Just one of them.
Jess,
Doesn't
I feel
matter
like they
who.
have a bit of momentum now. While they
But the
didn't
thing
have it
is,
straight away
if
after
CAG
their
wins
timeout,
against
I
Team
think that they're
Empire,
starting to feel more
or
comfortable
their
on
next
their attacks
opponent,
now, which is why I
then
actually think it's not
BDS
so
gets
bad
to decide the
that they start
fate,
attack here
because
every time.
Cyclops plays BDS last,
bring that
and that is
momentum
after
alongside
G2's
with
games
them,
have
and
finished, which
Team
means
Empire, they're gonna have to be questioning what
BDS
went
could
wrong that last
decide
round. That may
G2's
play
fate at this
into
tournament,
their mentality into this round.
as if they lose
You
to
have
Cyclops,
two,
then
maximum
Cyclops
three
kicks out
rounds to
G2.
work out
If
who's
they
gonna
beat
walk away the
Cyclops, then
victors
Cyclops
here.
gets kicked out,
I
not
think
G2.
APAC has surprised a lot of different teams
So we do
around a lot
have
of
this
different
unfortunate
regions around the
circumstance
world with their
where a team
possibilities
is
and
in
what they
direct
can show, what
control,
they can do.
possibly,
I've
over the
definitely been
fate of
happily,
another team.
I'm a
Which
happy
can lead to
APAC
match
trooper
fixing.
here because you wanna be able
Not
to
saying
show
it
that
will.
APAC really
Beautiful
has something
frag
good
from
to play
Airgata on the
with, and
white window
as
repel
I
to
speak
Dan
of it,
90.
that good is gonna be Airgators ripping Dan's head straight
And
off the shoulder.
arguably
You wanna
speaking,
know how to
like
clear
if
pixel?
BDS kicks
That's one
out
way to clear
G2,
pixel.
that's probably a
He needs
stronger
to destroy
opponent
the
than CAG.
shield, right? You just pull a
So
single bullet hole
it's in their favor to
and
lose to
ready
them so
and
that
then just
G2 goes
wait
out.
for that
That
head
gives
to
them a
pop up.
stronger
Really well
position
played.
in
The line
invitationals,
gets
right?
them always, though. This is another cheeky change from
Who won
Empire.
CAG? G2? G2 beat CAG 7-3, which means they got the head-to-head. So if Cyclops wants to beat G2, like in terms of numbers, Cyclops would need another point. As long as they're tied on points, Cyclops goes home, because G2 got the head-to-head matchup, as they beat them earlier. It is still in the hands of G2 though. If they win, it's all good. It won't come down to this. Always proning on the white stairs. Always a cheeky angle. Oh, and always jumps out afterwards. Finds the Claymore, now puts Shepard all alone in a 1v2. Actually, pretty good call from Anytoon here. And now the bomb is down, we don't have to challenge. Crossfire can be established, and Shepard shouldn't be able to close out this round, especially with 1 health, and he doesn't. Anytoon with a pistol kill. And Cyclops takes the first round in overtime. Pretty much against all odds here. The jump out from Always, I think he messed up. There was no one on that window repel. At least not in that time frame of him jumping out. Maybe that was earlier, I don't know, there must have been. And even if Always jumped out and killed the guy that rappelled in, he puts his teammate in a 1 versus 1 at the very best on site. So if Always jumped out, killed the guy in the rappel and died to the Claymore, or if there was no Claymore and he survived, he would just run down to garage and run all the way back upstairs. But it still leaves his teammate of Shepard 1 versus X on the bomb side, which is not a very favorable position. So yeah, jumping out there, that must have been some miscommunication, or maybe he heard something, or because there's no like super logical explanation for why he did it.
They're so close. I just can't believe this, Jess. Every time I think I have a handle on what the SI is going to look
7-6?
like, I'm surprised.
Always in the blunder board? I mean, it's hard to put Always in the blunder board there because you don't jump out that window unless you have an absolute like reason for it. So I'm sure that he jumped out for a reason that we don't know. It's not like he jumped out, you know, thinking it was the right play. He must have been told or heard some sort of information that led to that decision. Like maybe there's a guy he thought was gonna flank him from below, a guy 90 piano. He thought if he stayed he was gonna die, so he jumped out trying to go to the garage. I don't know. But regardless, I don't think it's fair to put a blunder on that. Anytune 6 kills to 1 since the rehost. Very well done so far. And this is kind of like the thing about CAG is that Anytune is such a great player for them, but he's also like their multiplayer, you know? So it's almost like either you ban the multi and you get a lot of kills on Anytune possibly, at least in this match, or you leave the multi open, but then you get Anytune's multi, which probably will also get them a lot of kills. Again, Anytune's value that he brings to the table is really, really high. I think always jumped out because the Buck was rappelling there. I think he jumped out expecting Buck to still be outside. And that's why I'm saying, like, even if he jumped out and Buck was still in the rappel, he still puts his teammate Shepard alone on the bomb side. And generally as a defender, you don't want to give up the bomb side or put your teammate alone on bomb side against an enemy if you do that knowingly. It all probably happened so fast that Always might not even have realized that his teammates were all dead. I mean, it was really quick. Shepard picking IQ here is actually quite great. Plays into both the Valkyrie, the Echo, and the Pulse. Probably also why I was picked, as CAG can hide all of those operators. So CAG playing for a slow last round with C4 and deny. I like when you do that, as, you know, when there's these like 7-6 rounds, a team like Team Empire, when you are on the attack, you are probably going to take it a little bit slower, spend a little bit more time perfecting your craft. Which means that playing all these deny operators, information operators, that gives you a lot more room to work with. Now, Black Ray somehow found Always through the vertical floor, I believe. That is the vertical player off the board. I believe he fought him and shot him. He must have, because there's no way just pew-pew him. Thank you, Rivers, and thank you, Leo. Now, all CAG has to do here is play with the advantage. If they don't give up any free kills to these vertical holes, then it will all come down to the execute. But Dan has found the angle onto Aigata, start shooting, and now he should be aware of this. And all he's gotta do is stand still, but man keeps flicking and whiffing about. And Dan ends up finding him. Aigata, why don't you sit still once you are safe? Why don't you sprint away to safety? Joysticks finds Anytune as well. 4 versus 3. Now XQ comes through. Echo Drone is going to be found by the IQ, and it's not going to do much here, which means the plump deny strat isn't going to work, and the entirety of CAG look in the wrong direction, basically looking towards Bakery where no one is to be found. And that is a rough round for CAG upon a good entry. And Suzu with Barrier 9, I mean, you gotta do a lot of work with that gun, and that gun does not do a lot of work. It goes max OT, putting CAG on the attacking side, probably where they are the strongest, based off that defense.
Too much out of character there for Cyclops. You called it rightfully so.
Cyclops had everything there to make that work, though. They really did.
They started locking themselves.
They really, really did.
They had, you know, rotated back down the side. They had
these difficult games between unexpected teams, could it be because of the MD1 factor? Is MD1 referring to best of one? I don't think best of one is I don't think best of one is to be blamed for this. I mean, best of one does cause more upsets than best of threes, but these aren't like, it's not like Cyclops are 7-0ing people, luckily, because they had a bad day. No, this is like Cyclops and APAC and even Parabellum taking teams the distance, fighting them, matching them round for round. It is 7-7. You don't go 7-7 unless you're actually fighting back. If Cyclops had 7-0 Empire, then, you know, Empire just couldn't shoot straight. You know, that's what that is. Is this stream A or stream B? This is the stream B. Stream A hasn't started yet. They're both showing the same match, actually. Yeah, they're both watching the same. Interesting.
But Empire have been really good at adapting, at changing their way of playing.
Yeah, both A and B streamers showing the same match.
And
So it doesn't matter, I guess.
Just to reiterate the stakes for these teams, right? Empire
There's only 6 maps in the pool. Best of 1 or best of 3 is not a big difference. I mean, it kind of is though, right? Because also there's 7 maps in the pool, not 6. There's 7. There's always an uneven number because it goes, you know, ban, 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 pick. Or if in the best of 3 it goes, you know, ban, ban, pick, pick, and then like decider or whatever.
So much for them if they can win it against Empire as well. That would be such a statement.
Well, every single
ban, ban,
region
ban,
that has
and then
come to the 6 Invitational
2
has
bans
seen
meet
a
size, 4
play.
bans.
And no matter who walks away the
And 3
victor
maps.
here, this has been an
Best of 5 would be a ban, ban,
explosive
pick,
match. If you
pick,
missed the
and
first
then
half in specific, the first
that's
2
it.
rounds, I thoroughly suggest you go have a look at it.
So yeah,
In fact,
7
I think
maps.
there'll be a couple of
Used to be
teams that look
9
at those
back in the
first 2
prime
rounds
of
and go,
Siege.
hey,
We had 9 maps
Empire,
in
they
the
don't do
pool, I
well with
believe,
this
which
early
gave
round of
teams a
aggression.
bigger
Maybe that's
skill
something
cap
we
as they
can
would
put
need to
into
know
our
more maps than
particular
now.
counter-strike here.
And we also got new maps
No
every 3
necessity, of
months,
course,
which you
but
would need to
something
learn
Cyclops
strats
have
for
shown
from
to be
fresh.
a really good addition to the
So I would say that
gameplay.
being a Pro League player back then,
Cyclops have taken
and you
really
weren't
good
even paid a
control
full
of the top
salary, you
four
had
of the
so much
midfield
to
very
learn
quickly,
in
and
such little
that all
time.
comes down to those pre-play
It's very,
drones
very,
that
very
confirm
difficult.
that no one really was roaming in the early round, and that they're able to take
The
quite a lot of
player
control early on.
comes
Now
monitored
it'll
by
come
the
down to
event
them getting
organizer.
all
Usually
these
they are,
verticals.
yeah.
Interestingly enough,
Usually they
CUC
are.
is the one that
Like
has
there'll be an
taken coaching
admin in
charges.
TeamSpeak,
Alligator has
or
not. Neither
I
has
also believe they
Black Ray.
record them.
They're going to be relying a heck of a lot on
Like
Anatun.
everyone's
They don't get
comms.
C forward, and of course Suzu C.
So yeah.
Should he have to redundancy use some of those breaching
A
charges?
wild Han, yeah. Very true.
This is really a test for Cyclops, isn't it? We know they
In a best of 1 you can ban out 2 bad maps, and best of 3 to play one of your bad maps. That's why best of 3 is higher skill. Because you can't hide behind a flawed map pool. You need to play more maps. But best of 3 also gives the better team, you know, 3 times the amount of time to be better. Consistently speaking, if you're a better team, you're gonna win in a longer match. That's why you want to have a bigger sample size when you compare something. Right? If you play a best of 100, the better team always win. Whereas if you play a best of 1, anyone could win. It's all about the long term. Now Dan has to swing true. He does not find much. A little bit of appeal in Anitun's body. Takes off 25 health. Now Dan back in VIP here could do a lot of damage unless Aigata catches him on the rotate. And they are planting, and I don't think they're aware because the Echo isn't there, and the bomb goes down with all 10 players alive. Now all CAG has to do is hold down the staircases, make sure the retake does not come through. If they hold above, the round surely will be won, and if not, they can drop the hatch. Shepard starts defusing early on, very little cover here. Suzu doesn't find him, where's the vertical play? Oh lord, there's nothing holding it down, they lose the round off a defuse, what? CAG coach sitting there in the corner being like, guys, how do they allow Empire to walk away with that round upon that really, really great execute? Planting right in, like right under their noses, against an Echo even, and a Maestro. That is a round that might bite CAG in the butt, as that could be one of the determining factors as to why they might get relegated. You can't get vertical play for that defuse. You can though. You can get it for a portion of it. If Shepard doesn't go for the long arm, which he didn't in that case, you can see the diffuser the same way that you saw Dan kill Aigata earlier on. There's the pixel on the right hand side above the bomb that will get you a bit of an angle. You can also hold the vertical play further back that holds the push up. So basically, if you have the bomb here, I can fucking paint it and draw, and you can draw it in paint for you. That is holdable by vertical play, 100%. You got the freezer hatch here with the window and door, right? Then you got the bump. There's a pixel that goes here up to vertical play, where Dan killed Aigata earlier. Then you got the bar desk with the holes above here. It goes something like this, right? And then right here, you got triple wall with a double door, and you got double door. Then you got a desk here, yeah? That's kitchen. You have vertical play across this entire area from train and from mining. All of this will cover people trying to go in this area, which means nobody should be able to even reach the diffuser, right? They should not be able to get this far. So you definitely have vertical play on it. Definitely. You can also have a guy with white stairs that sees through the hole that can try and hold the guy, like either on the window or the door push. Because the guy sitting in the corner inside freezer on the X, he was alone. Nobody held his VIP. Nobody held his window. Nobody held his door. So he swung one and died to the other. No one covered him. No one set up the post plant. So planting is only good if you have a good post plant position. And yeah, this plant spot is not the greatest post plant because there's not like direct vertical on it necessarily. But you have so many other ways of actually dealing with this post plant situation. And CAG didn't do any of the correct things there. And they lost. And Shepard, who defused, was literally like 5 health. Like he would die to anything. So that is a blunder. That is a bit of yikes. That is G2 getting a blessing in disguise right there. But it comes at the cost of CAG. Absolutely sad.